Dear students, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are you? I hope best for you. I Mukesh Kumar welcomes you to online Mukesh Online Academy. आपका मुकेश ऑनलाइन अकेडमी में स्वागत है. And we are doing the chapter of the class 8 math of the NCERT book. That is a linear equation in one variable. As we know that CBSE board mainly the NCERT books are followed. Now other boards are also have started following the same book, the NCERT book. So if any other board is also following, then they also get benefited from these questions. And by the way, for any of the class 8 board, more or less the questions are same. Okay, so anybody studying in the class 8 can benefit from these videos. Okay, so we have already done this. We have already do the 3 videos. Okay, studied into the 3 videos in which we did the examples of the first exercise. Then we did the first exercise. Also, we did the introduction, and we did exercise 2.2, the few questions. Okay, I hope you must have seen those videos. If you have not still seen, then I have given the links into the description. It is good if you watch them before watching this video. So it will give you better idea about the linear equations in one variable. Okay. Now one usual tip. Practice is the key to success in maths. More you practice, more you get. Less you practice, less you get. And I know that you want to become best into the maths. So practice more. Okay. So when you practice more, it will be a good idea. Okay. I hope you must be following this. So I know. So now you would have taken your notebook and pens and will start doing the practice along with me. Okay. So you start practice with me and practice not only the NCERT book, some other book also. Okay. I will not give the name of those books here, but you must be following some other books. Okay. So if you have any doubt, if you have any query about any question from this video or from any other book that we are doing, additionally, you can write to me. We will make another video for those queries. Okay. So I hope you will be benefiting from these videos. You must be getting knowledge from these videos. So kindly share it with your friends. Okay. Subscribe to it and ask your friends to subscribe. And if you want to do the live online classes through Zoom app, interactive online classes, okay, then also you can write to me. So we will be happy to serve you. So now let's do the 2.2 remaining questions. So in this video, what will we do? The remaining questions. Okay. So now let's start. So dear students, now today we will do about the exercise 2.2. Okay. So the questions 1 to 9 we had already done in the last video. So now in this video we will do about the questions from questions 10 to 16. That means we will be completing this exercise 2.2 in this video. Okay. So now do the 10th question. So we have the 10th question. The number of boys and the girls are in a class in the ratio 7:5. So the number of boys and girls in a class are in the ratio 7:5. So the number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. So what is the total strength? Okay. So what is actually given? That the ratio of boys and girls is given. So we will write the ratio of boys and girls is 7:5. Okay. So what will we do? We will assume the number of boys and girls from this ratio. So let number of boys equal to 7x. So as we have done in previous questions also, whenever ratio is given, so we just write one variable, the same variable along with both the ratios. Okay. So the let number of boys is equal to 7x and let the number of girls will be then 5x. Okay. Number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. That means boys are 8 more. It means the difference between the number of boys and number of girls is 8. Okay. So that means 7x minus 5x equals to 8. So now this equation has been made. So 7x minus 5x is 2x equals to 8. So that means x equals to, this 2 will go to other side, 8 divided by 2, 4. So we got x equals to 4. Okay. Or we can do this way also. If the number, what is given, the number of boys is 8 more than the number of girls. So that means number of boys equals to 5x plus 8. So it means that 7x equal to 5x plus 8. And you can say that 7x minus 5x equals to 8. So then we will get the same answer as we have get. So we can do this way also, and we can do this way also. Okay. So now since we have got the value of x, so from this value we will find the number of boys and girls. So the number of boys equals to 7x means 7 into 4, that means 28, and number of girls will be equals to 5x, that means 5 into 4 equals to 20. So if we subtract 28 minus 20, we get the answer 8 more. Okay. So we need to have the total class strength. So the total strength will be 28 plus 20, that means 48. The total number of students in the class are 48. I hope you would have understood this question. So now let's do the 11th question. So we have the 11th question. Baichung's father is 26 years younger than Baichung's grandfather and 29 years older than the Baichung. Okay, Baichung Bhutia, the football player, is not the same person. Okay, the sum of the ages of all the three is 135 years. So what is the age of one of each of them? Okay, each one of them we have to find the age. So now let's understand the question. Baichung's father is 26 years younger than Baichung's grandfather. Okay, and 29 years older than the Baichung. So what will we do? So let age of Baichung. So we will just assume the age of Baichung, which is equal to x years. Okay. So now it is given that Baichung's father is 26 years younger than Baichung's grandfather and 29 years older than Baichung. So that means the age of father is x plus 29 because he is 29 years older. Okay, 29 years older means the more 29 more years. So x plus 29 we will add the age, x plus 29 years. Now Baichung's father is 26 years younger than Baichung's grandfather. So that means the age of grandfather will be x plus 29 plus 26 because his father is 26 years younger. That means his grandfather is 26 years older than his father. So 29 plus 26, 9 or 6, 15, 1 or 2, 3, 2, 5, 55. So we got x plus 55. Now sum of all these three is 135 years. That means x plus 29 plus x plus 55 is 135. So our equation is x plus 29 plus x plus 55 is equals to 135. So now this x and this x. We have 3x. So it became 3x and 29 plus 55. So 9 or 5, 14, 1 or 2, 3, 5, 8. So we got 84 equals to 135. Now this 84 will go to the other side. So it will become negative. So 3x equals to 135 minus 84. So now we will subtract 135 and 84. 5 minus 4, 1. 13 minus 8, 5. So we got 3x equals to 51. Now 3 will go to other side as a division. That means it will divide the 51. So x equals to 51 divided by 3. So 51 divided by 3 means 17. Okay. If we divide 51 by 3, then we will get the 70. So we got x equals to 70. So now this x will be the age of Baichung. So now we will write the answer that age of Baichung is 17 years Okay, age of father. His father is 29 years more. That means 17 plus 29. We got 9 plus 7, 16, 1, 1, 2, 4, 46 years. And age of grandfather will be 46 plus 26, because x plus 29, because, or we can write 17 plus 55, anything we can write. It will be 72 years or it will be 72 years. So that means age of Baicheng is 17 years, age of father is 46 years, and age of grandfather is 72 years. So this is the age of 3 that we have got. So now let's do the 12th question. So the 12th question is 15 years from now, the Ravi's age will be 4 times his present age. What is the Ravi's present age? 15 years from now. So first of all, what need to be assumed? The present age, because we need to find the present age. So we will assume the present age of Ravi. So the present age of Ravi is x. So that means let present age of the Ravi is x years. Okay. 15 years from now, that means 15 years ahead. So we will add 15 years to the present age. Okay. So the age of Ravi after 15 years, it will be x plus 15, because we will add 15 to x. Okay. Will be 4 times his present age. That means x plus 15 will be equal to 4 times of his present age. That means 4x. 4 times of his present age will be 4x. Okay. Or you can say that 4x will be equals to x plus 15. So now this x we will take to the other side. So it will become x, 4x minus x equal to 15. 4x minus x will be 3x equals to 15. Now this 3 will come to the other side at a division. Okay. So it will become x equals to 15 by 3. So 3 5 are 15. So we got x equals to 5. Okay. So the present age of Ravi will be equals to 5 years. So let's check it. 15 years from now, that means 5 plus 15 equals to 20. Okay, and 5 into 4 is also 20. So that means we have got the right answer. Okay, I hope you would have understood this question clearly. So now we will do the 13th question. So the 13th question is, a rational number is such that when you multiply it by 5 by 2 and add 2 by 3 to the product, you get minus 7 upon 12. So what is the number? So we have to find the number. So what will we do? We will just assume it. So let rational number equals to x. So now when you multiply it by 5 upon 2, that means x has been multiplied with 5 upon 2, and add 2 upon 3 to the product, that means we have to add 2 upon 3 to it. Then you get minus 7 upon 12. That means the result is minus 7 upon 12. Again, we have multiplied x with the 5 upon 2 and have added 2 upon 3 to it. So we have got the result minus 7 upon 12. Okay. So x into 5 is 5x upon 2 plus 2 upon 3 equals to minus 7 upon 12. Okay. So what will we do? We will take 2 by 3 to the other side. So 5x upon 2 will be equals to minus 7 upon 12. This 2 upon 3 will become minus. So minus 2 upon 3. Okay. So now we will just take the LCM of 12 and 3. The LCM of 12 and 3 will be 12, because 12 is the multiple of 3. So 5x upon 2 will be equals to 12 minus 7 upon 12 minus 2 into 3 4 are 12. So that means 2 into 4 upon 3 into 4. Okay. So 5x upon 2 will be equals to minus 7 upon 12 minus 8 upon 12. Okay. So 5x upon 2 will be equals to 12 common LCM. We have the minus 7 minus 8. Since both numbers are minus, so we will add them and put the minus sign. So we got 15. So minus 15 upon 12. Okay. So we got 5x upon 2 equals to minus 15 upon 12. Okay. We can divide this. 3 5 are 15. 3 4 are 12. So we got minus 5 upon 4. So now this 5x will be multiplied with the 4. We will cross multiply. And this 2 will be multiplied with the minus 5. That means 5x into 4 will be equal to minus 5 into 2. Okay, so 5x into, so this 5 and 4 will come to the other side as a division. So x will become equal to minus 5 into 2 upon 5 into 4. So 5 and 5 gone, minus 1. So we got 2 1 ja 2, 2 2 ja 4. So we got minus 1 upon 2. Okay, so this x will become minus 1 upon 2. And if you are getting difficulty understanding what I have done, so what you can do, you can just write this line this way also. 5 4 that 20x equals to minus 10. Okay, and this x will be equals to minus 10 upon 20. 0 0 gone. So this way also you can get the same answer, minus 1 upon 2. So that means the number is equals to minus 1 upon 2. Let's check the answer. Okay, that means we have to multiply minus 1 upon 2 with the 5 upon 2. So we got minus 5 upon 4. Now but add the result with the 2 upon 3. So 5 minus 4 upon 5 upon 4 plus 2 upon 3. So the LCM will be 12. So minus 5 into 3 upon 4 into 3 plus 2 into 4 upon 3 into 4. So we got minus 15 upon 12. We got plus 8 upon 12. So minus 15 plus 8 upon 12. So we got the minus 7 upon 12. So this is the result that we are getting. So that means our answer is correct. So the number is minus 1 upon. I hope you would have got this question. Okay. So now let's do the 14th question. So in the 15th question, it is given that Lakshmi is a cashier in bank. There is some lady called Lakshmi and with the cashier in the bank. So whenever they are cashier in the bank, they have to handle so much of money. Okay. So she has the currency notes of denomination rupees 100, rupees 50 and rupees 10 respectively. The ratio of the number of these notes is 235 and the total cash with the Lakshmi is 4 lakh rupees. How many notes of each denominations does she have? If you remember that we have done this type of question in the example also. So what will we do first? We will just assume from the ratio how many notes of 100, rupees and 10 are there. Okay. So the ratio of rupees 100, rupees 50 and rupees 10 denomination. Ratio of number of denominations equals to 2, 3 and 5. So that means let number of rupees 100 denomination, okay, will be 2x. Okay, so what we have done, we have assumed their number to be 2x. Okay, because the ratio is 2. So let number of rupees 50 denomination will be 3x because the ratio is 3, and let the number of rupees 10 denomination will be equals to 5. Okay, so now we will calculate the total money from each of the denomination. So if suppose if we have 5 notes of 100, it means 5 into 100 is 500. So we have the 2x notes, that means 100 into 2. So the money from rupees 100 notes will be equals to 2x into 100. That means rupees 200x we have here. Same way, money from the rupees 50 notes will be equals to 3x into 50, means 50 into 3 is rupees 150. So 150x we have from the rupees 50 notes. So in the same way, money from rupees 10 notes will be 5x into 10. So this will be equals to rupees 50x. Now the total money. So whatever the total money 100, 50 and 10 have, that total money is equal to 4 lakh rupees. So that means 200x plus 150x plus 50x will be equals to 4 lakh rupees. So now we will add them 200, 150 and 50. So 50 and 150 is 200 plus 200 400. So we got 400x is equals to 4 lakh. So that means this 400 will go down as a division. Okay. So it means that X will be equals to 4 lakh upon 400. 0 0 gone. We got 1000. So X equals to 1000. Okay. So now from this X, we will find the number of each notes of each denomination. Okay. So that means what will be the answer? So the number of rupees 100 notes will be, we have 2x, that means 2 into 1000, which is equal to 2000 notes. Then number of rupees 50 notes, we have the 3x, that means 3 into 1000, which will be equal to 3000 rupees, 3000 notes. And number of rupees 10 notes is 5x, that means 5 into 1000, that means we have the 5000. Okay, so now let's check the answer. Check. See, 2000 into 100, that means we will add just 2 0. So this is the money from 100 rupees. 3000 into 50. See, 3000 into 3 into 5 is 15. So we have 150,000. And from 5000 means 5000 into 10 is 50,000. So just calculate them. So we get the 4 lakh rupees. That means our answer is correct. So what we have done, whatever number of notes we have got the answer, we have just multiplied with the each denomination and then found the total, and the total we are getting same, which is given into the question. So the 100 rupees notes is 2000 notes. Okay, the 50 rupees notes are 3000 in number, and the 10 rupees notes are 5000 in. I hope you would have got this question clearly. So now let's do the 15th question. See, this question is also related to the money. I have a total of rupees 300. Total money is given 300 rupees. In the coins of denomination, here instead of notes we have the coins of denomination 1 to 5. Same way that we have done the 14th question. The number of 2 coins is 3 times the number of rupees 5 coins. Here ratio is not given. Just different thing is given, and total number of coins is 160. That we have to find the how many coins of each denomination are with. Okay, so what is the total money? Is rupees 300. Now what is given? The of denomination 1, 2 and 5. The number of rupees 2 coins is 3 times the number of rupees 5 coins. Total number of coins is given. Total number of coins are 160. So number of rupees 2 coins is 3 times the number of rupees 5 coins. Okay, so 3 times the number of 5 coins. So what will we do? We will just assume the number of rupees 5 coins. So let number of rupees 5 coins equals to x, and the number of 2 rupees 2 coins is 3 times. So that means the number of rupees 2 coins is 3 times, that means 3x. Okay, so that means total number of rupees 5 and rupees 2 coins will be x plus 3x, that means which is equals to 4x. But the total number of coins means the coins of rupees 1, 2 and 5 is 160. So that means since we have assumed this total number of coins, then 5 number of coins is 4x, we have found it. So we will subtract it from it. Suppose if we have the total 160 coins, if we have, let's say, 20 coins of rupees 2, okay, and let's say we have the 60 coins of rupees 5, so that means total 80 coins. So 160 minus 80, that means 80 coins we will have. So same way we will do here. So the number of rupees 1 coin will be equal to 160 minus 4x. Now since we have got the number of coins, we have assumed the number of coins. So same way that we have done in the previous question, we will multiply it by the denomination. Okay, so the money from rupees 1 coin will be 160 minus 4x into 1. That will come the same whenever we multiply any number by 1. So we get the same result. So this much is the money. money from rupees 2 coins. Rupees 2 coins we have 3x, that means 2 into 3x, which means rupees 6x. Money from rupees 5 coins. 5 coins we have x, that means 5 into x, which is equal to 5x. The total money, this one, and this one. Okay, total money from 1, total money from 2, and total money from 5 is equal to 300. Okay, so that means 160 minus 4x plus 6x plus 5x will be equals to 300. Okay, see, 6 minus 4x plus 6x means 2x plus, and 5x means 7x. So 160 plus 7x will be equal to 300. Now this 160 will go to the other side, it will be subtracted. So 7x equals to 300 minus 160. And 300 minus 160 will be equals to 140. So 7x equals to 140. So that means x equals to 147 will go to the other side as a division, 140 by 7. So we got 20. So we got x equals to 20. So we have got the result x equals to 20. It means that the number of rupees 5 coins will be 20 because we had assumed to be this x. Number of rupees 2 coins will be 3x, that means 20 into 3 means which is equal to 60. So the number of rupees 1 coin will be 160 minus 4x, that means 4 into 20, that means 160 minus 80. So we will have the 80 coins. So what we got the answer, that number of rupees 5 coins is 20, number of rupees 2 coins is 60, number of rupees 1 coin is 80. Now let's check the answer. So 20 into 5, we have the 20 coins of rupees 5, so that means 20 into 5 is 100. We have the 60 coins of rupees 2, that means 60 into 2 is 120. And we have the 80 coins of rupees 1, so 80 into 1 is 80. When we add them 0, 8 to 2, 10, 1, 1, 2, 3, so we got the 300 rupees. So that means our answer is correct. That means number of rupees 5 coins is 20, 2 coins, number of rupees 2 coins is 60, and number of rupees 1 coin is 80. Okay, I hope you would have understood this question also. Okay, now let's do the 16th and last question of this exercise. So we have the 16th question. The organizers of an essay competition decide that a winner in the competition gets a prize of rupees 100. Okay, whoever wins will get the prize of rupees 100, and whoever does not win will also get the prize but rupees 25. Okay, and they have given the total prize money in 3000 rupees. So we have to find the number of winners. The total number of participants is given 263. Okay, so the prize money for winner is rupees 100, and prize money for not winners means we can say we will not write losers. Okay, prize money those who do not win, okay, will be rupees 25, or you can say other participants. Okay, the total prize money they have kept is rupees 3000, and total participants they have 63. You know, it is better to write whatever is given, so you get a clear idea of the question. Okay, otherwise if you don't write whatever is given, so it doesn't give you the clear idea. So that's why most of the students do the answers wrong. Okay, so it is better to write whatever is given. So now we have to find the number of winners. So what will we do? Let number of winners will be equal to x. So that means number of other who do not win, will be equal to 63 minus x. So you can understand this way. Suppose if we have a 10 participants, out of this if 3 wins, that means 10 minus 3, 7 lose, or 7 are the others who do not win. Same way, if we have the total participants 63 and number of winners is x, so So that means the person of those who do not win, their number will be 63 minus X. Okay. So now the prize money for the winner. So prize money taken by the winners. Taken by winners will be equal to 100 rupees into X, means number of participants, which will be equal to 100X. So this much of money the winners have taken. Okay. Now those who do not win, the prize money taken by other participants, okay, will be equal to 25 into 63 minus X. Okay. We should use the distributive property. That will be much easier. That means if we use the distributive property here, 25 into 63 minus 25 into X. So 25 into 63 we have got here 1575 minus 25X. Okay. So the total money, that means money which was taken by the winners and money which was taken by the others, means who do not win, is total is 3000. That means 100X plus 1575 minus 25X will be equal to 3000. So this 100X and minus 25X will be 75X, because 100 minus 25 is 75, and plus 1575 will be equal to 3000. Okay. So now we will take 1575 to other side. So we will get 75X equal to 3000 minus 1575. We will subtract them. So 3000 and 1575, okay, will be equals to 5. 9 minus 7, 2, 9 minus 4, 1425. So we got 75X equals to 1425. So we will take 75 to the other side in the division. So X became equal to 1425 upon 75. So we can divide it by 5. So when we divide it by 5, it will be 15. 5 1 is 5. Okay. And 5 5 is 25. 15 5 is 75. So when we divide 5 and 1425, we will get 5 2 is 10, 4 2, 5 8 is 40, 2 5 5 5 is 25. So we got 285. Then we reduce it by 5. Again further we can divide it by 5. 5 3 is 15, and 5 5 is 25. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 7 is 35. And when we divide 3 and 57, we get the 90. So we get X equals to 90. So that means number of winners. They have asked you the number of winners is equals to 90. Now let's check the answer. Okay. That means 19 we have the winners. That means 19 into 100 is 1900. And number of not winners, that means 63 minus 19 will be 13 minus 5 9 4, 5 minus 1 4. So 44 we have the which are not win. Okay, into 25. So that means 44 into 25. 44 into 25. 25 for the 100, 10, 25 for the 110, 110. Okay, so 1100. So that means 1900. We will just add them, so we get the 3000. So that means our answer is correct. So the number of winners is 90 is the answer. Okay, I hope you would have got this question clearly. Okay, so with this question, our exercise 2.2 is finished. If you have any doubt, then you can write to me in the comment box, or you can write to me on the WhatsApp. So, dear students, in the next video, we will do about the solving equations having variables on both sides. Till now, we have been doing the questions in which we had only on one side. So now in this, we will do the variables on the both sides. And in this, the exercise 2.3 and related examples we will do into the next. Okay, so thank you so much for your watching. Write your comments about the video or any query, any doubt about the topic into the comment box. And if you are just practicing from other books also, okay, then even then you can write your doubt to me, and then we will make the another video for your doubt. Okay, so if you want to get the live online classes on the Zoom app, interactive online classes, then also you can write to me on the WhatsApp or email. Now you can follow me on the Telegram and Instagram also, so that those IDs are given into this video, okay, and the description box also. And I hope you must be practicing the questions, because you know practice is the key in the maths. There is nothing, only the practice. When you practice more, you get. I hope you will be getting knowledge from these videos. Kindly share it with your friends, subscribe to it, ask your friends to subscribe. Thank you so much.